Have you ever looked at someone your age or older and thought, wait, how are they still doing that? Maybe it's your neighbor who power walks at 6 a.m., or that 82-year-old uncle who still climbs ladders like he's 40. Meanwhile, you're debating whether it's worth the effort to tie your shoes or just switch to slip-ons. No judgment, we've all been there. Here's the thing, aging doesn't look the same for everyone. Some people slow down and shrink back. Others, they somehow seem to hit reverse. No, they're not drinking unicorn juice or doing headstands on mountaintops. They've simply kept certain key abilities that most people lose without realizing it. And today we're going to talk about 8 of those abilities. If you can still do even some of them, you're not just lucky, you might be aging in reverse. Stick around. Let's find out how extraordinary you really are. Here's a secret most people don't know. It's not just aging that slows us down, it's what we stop doing along the way. You see, muscles don't vanish overnight. Balance doesn't disappear because the calendar flipped to 80. We lose strength because we stop using it. Think about it. When was the last time you trained your balance? Stumbling while reaching for the remote doesn't count. The body is incredibly smart and incredibly lazy. If you don't ask it to perform, it stops showing up. But the good news? It's never too late to reintroduce movement. Muscles remember, so does your mind. And yes, even your balance can bounce back. So if you've been blaming age, maybe it's time to rethink that story. Because the real villain isn't time, it's disuse. And once you know that, you've already taken the first step toward reversing it. Let's talk about something that sounds pretty simple, but it's actually a major sign of how well your body is aging. Standing up from a chair without using your hands. You might think, oh, that's no big deal. But for many people as they get older, it becomes a challenge. That little push off the armrest, it starts to feel like a necessity, not a choice. And over time, that can add up to a whole lot of independence lost. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She was 82 and thought she was in good shape until one day, she found herself leaning heavily on the table just to stand up. It felt like no big deal, until a week later, she fell trying to get out of bed. That was her wake-up call. She started a simple routine, 10 minutes a day of seated leg lifts and slow squats. Within weeks, she was standing up on her own again and smiling while doing it. Now, that's a victory. Standing up without using your hands isn't just about strength. It's about functional power. It shows that your muscles, your core, your balance are still working in harmony, keeping you independent. And that's something worth protecting. Because independence means freedom. So here's a question for you. Can you stand up from a chair right now without using your hands? Try it. I'll wait. If you can do it, drop a hum of 1 in the comments, because you're holding on to something pretty rare after 80. Your independence and your youth. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about maintaining the small things that keep you going. And trust me, every time you stand up without help, you're proving that you're aging in reverse. One movement at a time. All right, let's talk about something that might surprise you. How fast you walk might be the best indicator of how well you're aging. You see, brisk walking isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's a sign that your heart, lungs, muscles, and nervous system are still working in perfect harmony. And that's something to be proud of. Here's the deal. If you can walk briskly without getting winded, you're doing way better than most people think you are. It's not just about speed, it's about cardiovascular health, energy levels, and muscle efficiency. Take Leonard, for example. Leonard is 79, and for years he was the guy who walked everywhere. But recently, he noticed he was slowing down. One day, he couldn't make it around the block without stopping to catch his breath. That was a wake-up call for him. But instead of accepting it, he decided to make a change. Leonard started walking to the mailbox a little faster every day. He set small goals, like walking to the corner, then 2 blocks. Soon enough, his pace had improved, and so did his confidence. Here's a question for you. Could you catch a bus if it was pulling away? Or do you find yourself slowing down, needing a rest? Think about it. If you can walk briskly without feeling breathless, you're giving your heart and lungs the workout they need. And every step you take is a sign that your body is still in full swing. What does brisk walking mean for you? It's a powerful indicator that your body is still keeping pace with life, and that's not just good news for now, but for your long-term health too. So, the next time you head out for a walk, ask yourself, can I pick up the pace? If you can, you're already on the right track. Okay, quick challenge. Stand up and lift one foot. Yep, right now. Don't worry, no one's watching. Can you hold it for 10 seconds? Or did you wobble like a flamingo in a windstorm? Believe it or not, your ability to balance on one foot is a huge indicator of how well your brain and body are aging. It's not just about not falling, though that's obviously important. Balance is your muscles, your joints, your eyes, your inner ear, and your brain all working together in perfect coordination. Now meet Judith. She's 81, and one day while brushing her teeth, she realized she was leaning way too hard on the sink. She tried lifting one foot and had to grab the counter immediately. That little moment scared her more than any doctor visit. She thought, if I can't stand on one leg for 10 seconds, how will I catch myself if I trip? So Judith started practicing. Every morning, she'd balance on one foot while brushing her teeth. At first, she needed the wall, then the counter. But within a few weeks, boom, she didn't need support anymore. Her confidence came back, and so did her stability. Here's the good news. Balance is a trainable skill. It can come back, just like strength or memory. So back to you. Can you stand on one foot for 10 seconds without reaching for something? If you can, that's a fantastic sign. And if not, don't stress. Just start practicing, like Judith did. Because staying upright isn't just good for your safety, it's a sign that your brain and body are still very much in sync. And that's a beautiful thing. Here's a simple question. When was the last time you sat on the floor? For most of us, the floor becomes a no-go zone after a certain age, not because we can't sit down, but because we're afraid we won't get back up. That brings us to sign number 4, the ability to get down on the floor and back up again without help. It's a powerful marker of full body function. It takes strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination, all working together. If you can still do it, you're in rare company. And if you can't, don't worry, you can work on it. Let me introduce you to Frank, 83. One afternoon, his great-granddaughter wanted to play a board game on the floor. He hesitated, not because he didn't want to play, but because deep down, he wasn't sure he could get up again. That moment hit him harder than he expected. So he started small. Gentle squats next to the bed, slow kneeling exercises, even rolling a tennis ball under his feet to stay limber. A few weeks later, he surprised everyone, especially himself, by sitting cross-legged on the floor and rising with ease. Getting up from the floor may not sound glamorous, but it's a sign of mobility, confidence, and control. It's what keeps you playing, participating, living. So here's your moment. Can you sit on the floor and get back up without support? Try it. If yes, amazing. If not, now's the perfect time to start building it back. Because staying close to the ground? That's what helps you stay grounded in life. Let's be honest, carrying all the groceries in one trip is basically a sport. And if you can still do it, you, my friend, are a legend. That brings us to sign number 5, the ability to carry a full grocery bag without struggling. It might seem like a small thing until the day it suddenly isn't. Lifting, balancing, walking, it's a full-body task. It requires grip strength, arm and shoulder power, a strong back, and even core stability. And when you can still manage it easily, you're not just strong, you're functionally strong. Let me tell you about Walter. He's 80. For decades, he was the one-trip king. You know, the guy who'd rather lose circulation in his fingers than make 2 trips from the car. But one day, those bags started feeling heavier. Halfway up the stairs, he had to stop and rest. That's when he realized his strength wasn't gone, it was just sleeping. So Walter grabbed a pair of light dumbbells, a tennis ball to improve grip, and started doing wall push-ups every morning. Nothing fancy, just consistent. Within a month, he was back to hauling those bags like a grocery-carrying superhero. So how about you? Do you carry all the groceries in one trip or 5? And if you can still do it without shifting your weight, grimacing, or calling for backup, type number 5 in the comments. Because that strength isn't just practical. It's power. It's independence. And it's proof that your body is still up for life's everyday challenges. So the next time you lift that bag, smile. You're stronger than you think. Let's talk about stairs. They don't lie. Stairs are one of the most honest tests of your heart, lungs, legs, and overall stamina. That's why sign number 6 is so important, climbing a full flight of stairs without stopping. If you can still go up a set of stairs without pausing to catch your breath or grabbing the railing for dear life, you're doing better than most people your age. Actually, better than many younger folks too. Meet Irene. She's 82. 2 years ago, she had a minor fall while heading down the stairs and decided, no more. Elevators became her new best friend. But during a visit to her daughter's house, she realized something. The only bathroom? Upstairs. After one slow, breathless climb that left her both exhausted and embarrassed, she decided it was time for a change. She started with 3 steps at a time, using the railing, breathing deeply, and pacing herself. Then 5 steps, then 10. After just a few weeks of consistent effort, plus a few simple breathing exercises, she climbed an entire flight without stopping. The pride on her face, unmatched. So now, your turn. How many stairs can you climb before you pause? If you're still conquering those steps with confidence, type number 6 in the comments, because every step you take is a small victory for your cardiovascular health, your endurance, and your independence. And remember, the climb isn't just physical, it's symbolic. Each step upward says, I'm not done yet. Keep climbing. Your heart and your spirit will thank you. Let's clear something up. Forgetting where you put your keys? Normal. Not remembering why you walked into the kitchen? Also normal. But remembering details of conversations, names, recent events? That's where real mental sharpness shows up. Which brings us to sign number 7. You can clearly remember recent conversations and events. If you're over 80 and still recall what your neighbor told you yesterday, what you had for dinner 2 nights ago, or the punchline of a good joke from last week, you're doing better than most. That kind of memory reflects more than just recall. It shows brain health, strong circulation, engaged neurons, and a curious mind. Take Howard, 84. Soft-spoken guy, glasses always a little crooked. But ask him about his 3rd grade teacher or his army buddy from 1961, and he'll tell you their full names and birthdays. When someone asked him how he kept his memory so sharp, he smiled and said, I stay curious. I read. I talk to people. I ask questions. I never stop learning. That's the secret right there. Because memory, like muscle, needs exercise. Reading, writing, playing word games, learning new things, even just chatting with others. It all keeps the brain active and agile. So here's a question for you. What's one thing you remember from yesterday without checking your calendar? If something popped right into your head, type number 7 in the comments. Because that kind of clarity isn't just impressive, it's a quiet superpower. And it means your mind is still firing on all cylinders. Keep using it. It only gets sharper from here. There's something magical about waking up and actually feeling rested. Not groggy. Not like you've just been in a wrestling match with your pillow, but clear-headed, steady, and ready to start the day. That brings us to sign number 8. You wake up feeling refreshed. Now we know that sleep changes as we age. It can get lighter, more fragmented, but if you're still rising most mornings with energy and focus, that's not luck. It's a real sign your body is healing well at night. Because sleep isn't just rest, it's recovery. It's when your brain resets, your muscles repair, your hormones regulate, and your immune system recharges. Let me introduce you to Ruth, 86. She'd been waking up feeling foggy, needing naps during the day, and wondering if it was just part of getting older. Her doctor ran tests, everything came back fine. But something still wasn't right, until Ruth made one small change. She dimmed the lights an hour before bed. She stopped watching TV after dinner, and in the morning she opened the curtains and let natural light in. Within 2 weeks, her sleep improved. She stopped needing naps, and most importantly, she felt like herself again. So let me ask you, do you wake up refreshed? Or do you feel like you need a nap before your coffee's even ready? If you're part of the refreshed club, drop 8 in the comments. Because waking up ready isn't just a bonus, it's a sign that your body still knows how to recover, repair, and rise. And that's a beautiful way to start any day. So now, let's zoom out. What do all these signs really mean? If you recognized yourself in even one, yes, just one of these moments, you're not just surviving. You're aging in reverse. You're proving that strength, clarity, balance, and joy don't have an expiration date. You're still growing, still becoming, still showing the world what's possible after 60, 70, 80, and beyond. The truth is, aging isn't a cliff. It's a staircase. And every small step, every strong movement, clear memory, or confident breath is a climb toward a more vibrant life. So tell me, which sign surprised you the most? Which one are you going to start working on today? Drop your answer in the comments, because your journey inspires more people than you know. And trust me, your story is far from over. If this video spoke to you, if even one moment made you smile, nod, or think, hey, that's me, then please, hit that like button. It lets us know these messages matter. And if you want more inspiration, more tools, and more reminders that strength doesn't retire, go ahead and subscribe. This channel is for you. And here's one more thing. Share this with someone who inspires you. Maybe it's a friend, a neighbor, your walking buddy, or your 84-year-old aunt who still lifts more than you do. Because the more we celebrate strength at every age, the more we help others believe in their own. Your story, your effort, it matters. And your presence here, it's powerful. So keep moving, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one.